Hi everyone, I'm Red Hill Eagle, and welcome to a brand new series. Rookie Gamer Plays Ironsworn Starforged, Episode 0, Genesis. I just wanted to give you a very quick rundown of my RPG experience. I've always been fascinated by the genre, ever since I was a kid, but I never played. I never got into it, I never had any friends that played, just never managed to get into it. About 18 months ago, so that was probably early 2021, I had about 5 or 6 hours worth of Red Dwarf experience with a group of people, group of complete strangers on Discord. Kind of just fizzled out, and I had a 1 hour D&D crash course in combat. That was it. And I'm also trying to design my own RPG. That is my RPG experience. I've never played apart from, as I say, 5 or 6 hours of Red Dwarf, which, to be honest, it's not a great experience. It's not a very well put together game. And as I say, 1 hour D&D crash course in combat. That is it. That's my RPG experience. Nothing. And I'm going to dive straight into Starforged. A, because I really, really want to get into RPG. And because I don't have any friends that play, I think solo's the way to go. I've been reading different rule books and getting recommendations, this, that, and the other. And Starforged just really was the one that I thought I've got to do it. And it's been about a year, and I just decided today, this morning, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to record it from the very beginning and see how I get on. A complete newbie. How will I do? How well do the rules of Starforged help a brand new to RPG gamer get into the experience? Let's see, shall we? I will be using the excellent Stargazer app to play this game, or to help me with it, all my character sheet and oracles and all that sort of thing. I do have the official rules, of course, which I'll be going through, but this is the main screen I think everyone will be seeing, this is the main app that everyone will be seeing. So, yep, excellent app. I've seen a few videos of people use it, and it looks like it's everything that you're going to need to play the game, really, apart from the rules and everything else that comes with purchasing the product. Highly recommend Stargazer. And if I need any dice apart from those within Stargazer, I'll be using an Android app called RPG Simple Dice. It's probably available on iOS as well, but I'm using it on my Android mobile phone. RPG Simple Dice. Highly recommend it. With regards to the series and the videos themselves, I'm going to try and keep things sort of family friendly, or at least sort of 12A, 15. I don't want anything too violent. I don't want anything too mentally disturbing. I don't know what the audience of this video is going to be. If I do something that you don't find comfortable, I apologize. It's certainly not my intention to make anyone feel uncomfortable. If I pick anything up during editing that I think might be a bit too far, I will flag it up with one of these. So when you see that, it means that something's coming up within the next few seconds that you might want to skip. I can't be responsible for what people are watching, and I'm just going to do my best to try and keep it 12A 15. I'm recording these when I get a chance, so that's kind of lunchtime from work, if I'm working from home, and when my wife's gone to bed in the evenings. So I don't know how regularly these are going to be, and I obviously won't be able to record an entire video in one session, so it's going to be a little bit broken. I'm going to edit it as best I can, and I think just any advice you can give me, just pop it in the comments below. I mean, that's anything from the game to the producing the videos, the series, whatever. I want this to be a little bit interactive. It'd be nice to get some ideas from you guys. I might not be the most creative person to begin with, as already stated, and I'm sure I'll say it again. I'm brand new to RPG. So I think initially I will probably rely heavily on oracles and mechanics. But let's see where we go. I have read the entire chapter 1 of the rules. I'm sure there's things I'm going to forget. I'm sure there's things I'm not going to do right. I'm just going to do my best. First things first, we need to choose our truths. As I understand it, we need to first of all roll a d100 to find out our cataclysm. And I can gather from the options that you have that this is why we left our home galaxy. So I'm going to roll a d100 using the Simple Dice app. I'm not going to cheat. What's the point? I could just choose one myself if I wanted to anyway. 75. So that gives us. We escaped the ravages of a catastrophic war. So there was a war going on in our home galaxy, whatever that was, and we wanted to escape it, and we did. So I'm going to pop that over in the sheet. So we select that here under Truths, Cataclysm, and it was we escaped the ravages of a catastrophic war. There's other things here to select. I won't touch that just yet because I'm sure the rules will tell me when to do that. Okay, just a quick flick back over to the rules. Yes, we do choose one of these, or we roll for it. I'm not going to use the app for the dice roll because I have realised there is a dice here. Well, there's a die here. So I'm going to use that. And I think this tells us what caused the war or who we were at war with. So let's give that. Religious zealots. In this final war, we were set upon by a tyrannical faction or leader. Religious zealots. Okay. So there's obviously some sort of religion going on in our universe. Exodus. I think this is how we got to the Forge. So there's obviously billions of galaxies out there. Why the Forge? So let's roll on that. When the Exodus fleet set off on a ponderous journey to a home outside our galaxy, they marked the Forge as their destination. So we knew about the Forge. We knew it existed, and that's where we wanted to head to. Countless generations lived out their lives aboard those Titanic ships. I'm not going to read all through these because you've probably read them a million times if you've played the game yourself. So, Catalysm and Exodus are done. Next is communities. Dangerous abound, but there is safety in numbers. Many ships and settlements are united under the banner of one of the founder clans. So there are dangers, but there's safety in numbers. Okay, I'm probably going to need a little bit more information than that, but I think there's obviously big clans. There's obviously separate civilizations that are quite numerous. So you're never on your own, so to speak. There's always someone you can turn to. That's how I'm interpreting that. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I might be something I sleep on and have a different idea, but we'll go with that. Iron. The Ironsworn bind their honour to iron blades, so it's an iron blade that we swear upon. Aboard a starship where stray gunfire can destroy fragile equipment or pierce hulls, the brutal practicality of a sword makes for a useful weapon. Okay, it's not quite what I was thinking in terms of, when you think sci-fi, you do think kind of lasers and that sort of thing. But if we're talking literal iron and we're talking like a blade, like a sword, okay, that's fine. So an iron sword is obviously regarded as quite sacred or very, very powerful. So you've got to have a sword with you. By look, to be Ironsworn without a blade is to be disgraced. So you've always got to have some sort of sword with you, some sort of blade. Okay, we can work with that. Laws. Much of the Citadel domains are a lawless frontier. Criminal factions and corrupt leaders often hold sway. Before I set out to play this game, I was looking at a few other solo RPGs to play, and I was looking at being a criminal. Maybe not like a really bad criminal, but a criminal nonetheless. Someone who's perhaps a thief or something like that, or maybe even kind of like a modern day or a futuristic Robin Hood. Stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. I don't know quite whether to go down that route just yet, possibly. But the fact that most people, or a good percentage of people in our universe, are criminals, that kind of fits in with what I was thinking. Religion. Our faith is as diverse as our people. Many have no religion, or offer an occasional prayer out of habit. Others pay homage to the gods of our forebearers as a way of connecting to their roots. Okay, so Lots and lots of different religions, kind of like how we live on Earth, I guess. Many people aren't religious. Some people say they're not religious, but they'll pray when they probably really want something, or just out of habit, perhaps. I can work with that as well. It's not overly religious. Whether my character is religious or not, I've yet to decide and or determine. But religion does exist in the Forge. Magic. Supernatural powers are wielded by those people we call paragons. While not magic in the truest sense, the abilities of paragons are as close to magic as we can conjure. That works for me because I didn't want magic. That's more, I think, that's more kind of fantasy setting. So I can work with that. I mean, it's not real magic, but it's perhaps, chemistry, sleight of hand, all that kind of thing. We have still got to select these powers are born of ancient knowledge held by secretive leaders. Secretive orders. Okay, I'm not quite sure how that's gonna fit yet. Might need some of you guys to help me out there. Ancient knowledge held by secretive orders. So a bit like the magic circle, perhaps. Certain chemistry or other science that is viewed as magic are secret, secret, I don't know, recipes or secret ways. You have to be in that circle to know how to use those tricks. I don't quite know how I'm going to implement that yet. We'll have a good think about that. Communication and data. In settled domains, a network of data hubs called the Weave allow near instantaneous communication and data sharing between ships and outposts. So it's a bit like having the internet in outer space then. Okay, I can work with that as well. So we've probably got, depending on how powerful our ship is or how powerful our onboard computers are, we have information at our fingertips. I'm guessing. They often the target of sabotage, so yeah, hacking. Perhaps we are a hacker ourselves. Maybe. Medicine. Orders of sworn healers preserve our medical knowledge and train new generations of caregivers. Life-saving advanced care is available within large communities throughout the settled sectors of the Forge. Okay. Not too dissimilar to what we have now, I guess, particularly perhaps in this country. We have nurses and doctors, and so I think what this is saying, without looking at the other options, what this is saying is healthcare is available. It's quite easy. Even remote communities are often served by novices, so it's quite easy to get some sort of medical attention if you require it. Okay, something else I can work with. Still got loads to go. Actually, more than I thought. Okay, it's not a problem. Artificial intelligence. The vestiges of advanced machine intelligence are coveted and wielded by those in power. Much of our AI technology was lost in the Exodus. Okay, so we've lost a lot of our AI thinking or technology, and it's only really the very wealthy that have preserved that and that still have that. So we could, if we come across androids or AI technology, it's likely that it belongs to someone very powerful or very rich. So if we come across anything like that, it's either lost or discarded or escaped. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. War. Here in the Forge, resources are too precious to support organised fighting forces or advanced weaponry. Okay, so there's no war perhaps there's tiny little wars, but there's no wars too expensive. People would rather spend their money on other things, I guess. Weapons are simple and cheap. Okay, so we wouldn't have big planet destroyers, I'm guessing. We wouldn't have anything that could destroy the Death Star. Starships are often cobbled together from salvage. I like the idea of that as well. I do like the idea of people, perhaps ourselves, being a salvager, looking at derelict space stations, ships, you know, abandoned planets, and just finding things that could be useful, and then
one day finding you can attach it to something and it keeps your, I don't know, keep something going. I don't know. Yeah, cobbling things together. I do like the idea of that. Okay, so war is, if it exists, it's very rare. Most communities rely on ragtag bands of poorly equipped conscripts or volunteers. Yeah, so if there is any war, they're likely to be small. They're likely to be, well, anyone who's got anything powerful is likely to win quite quickly because most people would have very antiquated, if that's the right word, probably not, primitive, for the future anyway, primitive weaponry. Okay, life forms. Life forms. This is a perilous and often inhospitable galaxy, but life finds a way. Life in the Forge is diverse. Planets are often home to a vast array of creatures, and our starships cruise with spaceborne life forms riding in their wake. Even animals from our homeworld, carried aboard the Exodus ships, have adapted to live with us in the Forge. Yep, love the idea of that. There is alien life out there. Whether it's intelligent or not is a different thing. We will find out. Precursors. The Ascendancy, as advanced spacefaring empire, an advanced spacefaring empire, once ruled the entirety of the Forge. Vaults of inscrutable purpose are all that remain to mark the Ascendancy's legacy, but those places are unearthed, untethered. I'm not reading very well today. Untethered from our own reality. Ascendancy vaults can appear spontaneously, washed up like flotsam in the tides of time. Their gravity and atmosphere pay no heed to natural laws. Some are corrupted and ruined, others are unmarred and intact. Some are both at once. They are chaos. Okay, so there was once a massive empire that controlled all, if not a massive portion of the Forge. They are long gone. They're long forgotten. I mean, maybe we could have it that there's still a small group of them, or a small group of believers, maybe a bit like the Jedi. Uh, Once a massive, it wasn't really an empire as such, was it? It was more of like a religion, but a massive kind of faction. They controlled, there was loads of them. They controlled a massive part of the galaxy, and then they've just dwindled and dwindled over the years, and they've just, people move on, people change, and maybe there's just a small group that are kind of trying to keep it alive. Yeah, okay. Something else to think about. Horrors. Most insist that horrors aren't real. Spacers know the truth. When you travel the depths of the Forge, be wary. Some say we are cursed by those who did not survive the cataclysm, and the veil between life and death is forever weakened. Supernatural occurrences and entities are especially common near a white dwarf star. These stellar objects, which spacers call ghost lights, are the decaying remnants of a dead star. Yeah, I'm willing to go with that. I think, just as on Earth, people see things, people think they see things, maybe they really do. There's mysteries on Earth. You can sit there and say it's a trick of light, it's this, that, the other, your mind playing trick. Yeah, but no one, in my opinion, no one knows for sure. No one knows 100%. There's plenty of mysteries that can probably be explained by science, but they haven't yet. And yes, could be, as I say, trick of the mind. But I think we can go with that. And perhaps white dwarf stars are something that we would be wary of. That might be quite interesting. I don't want to do too much playing with the mind and dreams and hallucinations. I don't want to go that route. I'm happy that it exists in the Forge. How far we take it, I don't know yet. I'll call that the end of episode 0. I suppose it's session 0 part 1, but it's episode 0. So please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. I'll be coming back for some more, where I think the next step will be character creation. See you all again soon. Goodbye.